let's do another realistic sketchbook walkthrough where I actually show you the things that are actually in my sketchbook. Some of them are fun, some of them are good, some of them are just they are. And this is a big one, not because it's a big deal, but just it's literally a bigger sketchbook than what I usually work in. I love painting small, and that's why I had the little small sketchbooks made, because I think that they are the perfect size for little things and making things unintimidating to actually play with. But recently, I got an inkling to work bigger. Specifically, this is my Big Ideas sketchbook. And I call it that because I was craving a sketchbook that could handle a little bit more as far as ideas. Sometimes the ideas themselves are bigger, and sometimes I have an idea, but I need to be able to play with it multiple times or compare different variables when I'm playing with something. And having these larger pages actually allows me to do that. I can play with the same concept multiple times on one single page, so it's a little easier for me to compare and also just to play around. This sketchbook has the same paper in it as my smaller paper, so it's 140-pound cold press cotton watercolor paper that I love. The main difference is that it's just bigger. And I don't think I'm ever going to stop working in the small sketchbooks because there is something that's like really tangible, and sometimes my brain just needs to work smaller because it feels less intimidating, but there are also those other days where my brain is a little more scattered and it needs to either stretch out and just really do something across an entire big page, or it needs to play with multiple things because it can't focus on just one thing. Or it needs to understand something. The other reason I love sharing the inside of my sketchbooks is, yeah, it's a little bit vulnerable for you to see everything that I'm doing here. Some of them you're going to recognize because they do make it into videos. Other ones are things that I'm playing with to either kind of develop into videos or things that I just need to work out. So I do spend quite a bit of time in both this sketchbook and other sketchbooks playing around with like those little animals, trying to figure out the different shapes that I'm going to need, trying different concepts multiple times to see kind of what the most compelling thing is. Or I do my live classes for Patreon, so I will often play around with different variables because I like to center my classes that we do there on one major skill, and then we can actually learn that skill while painting something that's fun. Recently, I've been doing some more put together sketchbooks that encompass experiences, but in general, I really like to just use my sketchbooks as a whatever my brain wants to do. And that means that they end up looking like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And if you're ever self-conscious that your sketchbook isn't perfectly laid out and beautiful, it doesn't need to be. It just needs to work for you.